All right, Jay. I said it. We're going to talk about white saviors next.
Hmm.
Everybody remembers the movie The Blind Side. Did you ever watch that?
I did see that by accident. There's a fly in here
Oh,
that's
okay.
killing me.
All right.
So if y'all see me swatting, that's why. I don't know how it got in here.
Well, The Blind Side was a movie about Michael Oher and bringing up
Hmm.
his lifestyle as kind of like a poor and homeless kid, and but he was big and he was
Hmm.
good at football. So this white family took him in and gave him a home and had him sign his life away, like devil's advocate. But
Hmm.
he's recently come out, and the family is, I pronounce it Michael Oher, even though if you look up his name, Oher, it sounds like it should be whore, her,
No,
whore
no,
here. It
no.
doesn't seem like it should be Or.
It
Or is
might.
OR.
It looks like O'Hare. It doesn't
Mm,
look like whore.
okay. And the family, I think the family's name is
It's
Tui.
Tui. It's
Yeah,
Tui.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay. He's filed a lawsuit against Sean and Leanne Tui. That was Tim McGraw and Sandra Bullock's character in The
Hmm.
Blind Side, the
Hmm.
family who took him in when he was a teenager. Or claims that he was tricked into signing a conservatorship, believing that he was going to be adopted by the Tuohys and that he never received fair payment for the movie that he was portrayed in. In response to the petition, the Tuohys described themselves as heartbroken over these events, and in a statement issued on their behalf by attorney Martin Singer, they also alleged a shakedown that Orr demanded $15 million from them and threatened to plant a negative press story if they didn't pay up. The couple said that they have always been upfront with Orr about the conservatorship and that any profit from The Blind Side has been split within the family equally. Um, so when I watched the movie,
Hmm.
I said, this shit don't sound right.
Right.
As soon as I watched the movie. So, me
Yeah.
being who I am, it's something I encourage other people to do. If a movie is based on a true story, realize the key words that are in that sentence: based
Yeah.
on a true story. That
Yes.
means that there have been liberties taken of
Hmm.
that true story.
For example, he was like, I didn't need to be explained the rules of football as a teenager. I knew what how football was played, but they show him later, like in as a teenager, and they have to explain his position. He's like,
They
no, I
portray him
didn't have.
as really dumb. They portray
Yes,
him as a big black dumbass kid. That's how they
yes,
portray him in the movie.
yes.
Um, and it wasn't only that, he was like, I wasn't told how to sleep in a bed. I know how to sleep in a bed. There's a scene
Yes.
where she's like, that the bed is yours. You sleep in the bed. It's like what so he was really annoyed when the movie came out because it portrayed him as dumb. And he was like, there's a difference between not having the education and being dumb.
Yes. I He was bounced around from house to house. He was homeless. He went to, I think they said, 11 different schools in his first 9 years of education. So, yeah, he was probably behind. He had to repeat first and second grade. Well, because the kid never stayed in a school long enough for them to even, you know what I'm saying? So the way that they portrayed him, like he was slow, I do remember that,
Yeah, they
and I was
portrayed him
like,
as
that,
slow, and
yeah,
he couldn't do nothing. But it's funny because the Tuohys have definitely benefited from knowing him, and
yes,
it's also funny that they had him sign a conservatorship.
hmm,
Now, most people, I would say 99% of the population out there in the world did not know what a conservatorship was. We all learned what a conservatorship was during the Britney situation.
yes,
That's happened over the last couple of years because I
mhm,
had no idea what a conservatorship was.
no,
So they said that they had him sign the conservatorship so that he could get into school. There's already been lawyers in the state of Tennessee that have said, well, they said they needed to do that because he was already 18. There's already
mhm,
been lawyers that said, no, you can adopt somebody that's
yes,
18, that wasn't necessarily the case.
yes,
Then they tried to say, well, that was what we needed to do to get him into school. And other people that have done college was like, no, that wasn't needed. So instead of adopting him, they had him sign a legal conservatorship. Here's the part that pisses me off. There are people out there that are coming out now saying white people because he's black and the family is white. There are white people coming out saying he knew the whole time what a conservatorship was, and they're half right. This is his own words in his memoir that was written in 2011, and this is what they're using as evidence.
Mhm.
In the 2011 memoir, I Beat the Odds From Homeless to the Blind Side, Michael Oher wrote about his conservatorship with the Toohey family. He wrote that he became a legal member of the Toohey family and that it felt like a familiar formality since he had been part of the family for more than a year at that point. He also wrote that Sean and Leanne Toohey would be named as his legal conservators and that they explained to him that it was means pretty much the exact same thing as adoptive parents, but that the laws were written in a way that take his age into account.
Mhm.
These were their words. So instead of explaining to him, hey, this is legal conservatorship, which means that we have control over your money
Yes.
and any future earnings that you have.
Yes.
But it's exactly like they didn't say that. They just said, "Oh, it's exactly like adoption." This is 2011, so
Yeah.
he knew that it was a legal conservatorship. But once again, nobody knew what a conservatorship was, right?
Mhm.
So if you say, "Oh, this is just like this is the same thing as adoption. It's just because of your age." Oh, okay, yeah, no, we family.
Yeah,
You
and
adopted me. I'm part of the family.
you can tell in the way that he describes it in the book. He says, "I became a legal part of their family, but it felt like just a formality." He in his mind, even in writing the book at that time, he thought the conservatorship was just like him being adopted.
That's that. So when the people are trying to throw that out there, it's like he knew. No, he did not know.
No.
Nobody would know. He was 18 years old, first of all.
Mhm.
2011, he's older. But even in 2011, if you said conservatorship to me and you said, yeah, it's just like being adopted, I'd be like, oh, okay, I trust them. Y'all took me in. Y'all my
Yeah.
family. If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight Ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/unsolicited perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.